Welcome to Launch Recap and welcome to the history of Starship. On April 3rd, 2019, Starhopper had its very first static fire. This successful static fire demonstrated that Raptor engine could be integrated with Starship. 2 days later, another static fire was completed that included a full tethered hop. This further demonstrated that Raptor could be integrated with Starship, but most importantly could take flight with it. On July 25th, Starhopper performed its very first hover test, aka a 20-meter hop. This further demonstrated integration of Raptor with Starship, but also that it could fly in a controlled manner. To bring its testing phase to a close, Starhopper performed a 150-meter hop on August 27th. This demonstrated that Starship could fly for a long period of time in a controlled manner. After Starhopper, SpaceX started calling their prototypes SN, or serial number. For example, Starship SN1, or serial number 1, did a cryogenic proof test on February 28, 2020. Due to faulty welds in the thrust puck, which is where the engines attach and all the force from the engines gets transferred into the rocket, SN1 was unable to complete the cryogenic proof test due to the welds failing under the load. SN2 performed another cryogenic proof test, although it should be mentioned that SN2 was more of a tank section and not an entire ship. The test, which was conducted on March 9, 2020, collected data on welding techniques and the steel used for building Starship. Now here comes a big surprise, but guess what? SN3 also performed a cryogenic proof test on April 3rd, 2020. As you may have noticed, the test was unsuccessful with a loss of pressure. This was caused because of incorrect test configurations. Now comes something a little bit different, but SN4 performed a static fire on May 29th, 2020. As you may have noticed, maybe by the giant fireball, but the test was unsuccessful due to the quick disconnect arm not fully reconnecting at the start of venting, which caused a methane leak, which kind of exploded. Now on a bit of a happier note, SN5 successfully completed a 150-meter hop to demonstrate that flying was possible with an offset Raptor engine. I kind of forgot to mention that this was performed on August 4th, 2020, so yeah, just FYI. On September 3rd, SN6 basically did like the exact same thing, so I don't know, just enjoy these cinematic shots. I know this is a little bit out of order date-wise, but I wanted to keep it in order by ship number, so yeah, just deal with it. Anyway, doesn't matter. On June 23rd, SN7 performed a cryogenic proof test to destruction. Yes, this was a successful test, even though the rocket ended up on its side, but yeah, it was meant to be like that to test welds and other stuff. And by other stuff, I mean like steel. SN 7.1 also performed a cryogenic proof test to destruction on September 23rd, 2020, and that was also to test welding techniques and steel. And would you believe it, SN 7.2 did the exact same thing. On February 5th, 2021, it collected data on new 3mm steel that they were going to use. So yeah, it did the exact same thing with just a little bit thinner steel. Now with the boring stuff out of the way, on December 9th, 2020, sorry, we're out of order again, SN8 performed a 12.5 kilometer hop. This was to test flying with 3 Raptor engines, doing the flip, belly flopping, doing the flip again, and yeah, of course landing. Due to low pressure in the upper methane tank, or header tank, which is used for landing, Starship came down a little bit hard due to low thrust and hit the ground and, well, yeah, it just exploded. On February 2nd, 2021, SN9 performed a 10-kilometer hop, which also ended in a fireball, because one of the engines used for landing did not ignite, and therefore there was insufficient thrust to do the flip back to vertical.
Oh, I see. Let's get cameras up.
Just 1 month later, on March 3rd, SN10 took to the skies for another 10-kilometer hop. It successfully touched down on the landing pad before trying to do another little hop 8 minutes later. Oh yeah, and maybe I should explain what happened. So basically, a little bit of helium from the header tank got sucked into the engines, which caused low thrust, which caused tank damage during landing, which caused an explosion. And with that, we get to SN11 on March 30th. We're not going to talk about this one.
2, 1. Liftoff.
Altitude.
Now that we have that out of the way, let's get on with SN15, the star of the show. On May 5th, 2021, Starship SN15 successfully demonstrated that Starship could fly, flip, belly flop, flip again, and land.
Have ignition. Starship heading back to the landing zone.
But we're not done yet. On April 20th, 2023, Starship returned with a fully integrated flight test.
Starship vehicle, tower clear, we're in the pitch over.
But not everything went to plan. Due to loss of hydraulic pressure and therefore engine gimbaling, Starship tumbled out of control before stage separation. This caused the flight termination system to go off, but due to insufficient explosives it took another 40 seconds before Starship finally was destroyed, at T plus 4 minutes. And that brings us to the end of this video. Booster 9 and Ship 25 are next. I can't wait.